Hey guys, Darren Asbury here with Revital Outdoors, bringing you another exciting podcast. Tonight we have Mr. Steven Reitzel on our podcast. Steven is from the great state of Texas. We're going to interview another angler from the Cowboy division. They have a BFL, a Cowboy division tournament coming up on Lake of the Pines. They're in Texas this coming weekend. So we are very excited to talk to Steven. He got a top 10 finish there last year. That same tournament's coming up this weekend. So it'll be great to interview another Cowboy division angler for another BFL tournament for them. Before we get started, Revital Outdoors is very excited to announce we are still taking entries into our $2,500 giveaway. That lucky angler will be chosen at the end of the year. We've got great companies on board for this giveaway, such as Flambeau Outdoors, Cigar Line, Costa Del Mar, the Rod Glove, Lose, Strike King, and Tackle Warehouse. So definitely want to get in on this one. All you have to do is hit that link at the top of the description right below this video. It takes 3 seconds to enter. I promise you don't want to miss it. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. That way you get notified when all of our content is dropping. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. That's Revital Outdoors. And if you've never heard of Revital Outdoors, we're a premium CBD company. We offer premium CBD products to all the outdoor enthusiasts out there. Our products help aid in the different ailments that different outdoor enthusiasts face out in the field or on the water. This includes back and shoulder discomfort, aches in your joints, knees, hands, sorenesses, anything to do with anxiety or trouble sleeping at night. That's what CBD helps you alleviate. Our products are THC free, made right here in America. So check them out on our website. That's www.revitaloutdoors.com. That being said, let's go ahead and bring Mr. Steven Reitzel straight into the studio from the great state of Louisiana, but fishes in Texas. Steven, how you doing this evening, bud?
Good, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good. So, well, man, let's just get right into it. You're the first angler we've talked to about Lake of the Pines. Tell us a little bit more about the lake. Tell us a little bit about your tournament last year.
Man, it's actually one of my favorite lakes in Texas right now over the last 3 years. I don't get to go as often as I would like being from Louisiana, holding down a full-time job, but I love it. I basically divide the lake up into 2 different sections, south end, north end, and figure out which end's producing the best before the tournament. Last year, it ended up being the north end of the lake for me that produced. Kind of going into it, I knew we were going to have a high wind, so I was looking for more of a current bite, and I found it, man, and it was unreal for about 3 hours.
Okay. When you say current bite, does that mean they're pulling current from the dam?
Yeah, that wind was pushing water down that channel up there and up in the north end, and it had those fish stacked up on just a couple little spots. And man, when you got on them, it was every cast.
Okay. So, well, tell us a little bit more about the lake. Is it a dirty water lake, clear water lake? Is it largemouth, spotted bass? I assume it's big largemouth. What kind of cover and structure are the fish relating to this time of year? I mean, is it post spawn or are they spawning, anything like that?
Man, this lake's so diverse. The south end's super clear. You can fish out in 25 foot of water, roadbeds, bridges, or you can flip cypress trees in the clear water. The mid lake to me, I hadn't fished it much. There's a couple main creeks up there that in the middle of the lake that are real good. But everything, there's a drain that starts about 3/4 of the way up the lake, and from there all the way up to the 255 bridge it's dirtier. Got a bunch of standing timber. It's got creeks. It's got hard bottoms, shale beds, I guess you would say, flats. But overall, it's a really shallow lake once you get above that little south end right there, and nothing under 10 foot or nothing over 10 foot.
Okay. Does it got the Guadalupe bass? I know that there's a lake down there in Texas that has those. So it's kind of like that crossbreed between the spots and the bass, or is it just all largemouth?
Man, as big as the fish are in this lake, if you ain't targeting largemouth, you're messing up. It does have a few spots in it on the south end. I found more than most, but main thing you got to watch out for out there is crappie fishermen. They're everywhere.
Okay, a lot of crappie anglers too. So, as far as your tournament last year, were you catching them? Post spawn, pre spawn? What kind of stage of the spawn were they around?
Well, last year it was a lot different than this year. They had that big freeze in early February last year, so the lake was completely frozen over. That kind of pushed everything back about a month or two. So when we got there in April, I think it was third week in April, we were there. There were some fish pulling up, some fish on beds, but the majority of them I didn't feel had made that change yet. And out of the 23 pounds I caught, every one of them was pre-spawn.
Okay. Now, what do you predict for this year? Same kind of circumstance, or what kind of state? I know that the old man winter's been hanging around for all parts around the country. Is that the same for Texas? I mean, is it still cooler temperatures? Fish are still moving up, or what do you predict is going to happen?
Oh, yeah, I guarantee you there's going to be a mega bag drop. But I think it'll be deeper this time of year. I caught most of my fish in about 3 or 4 foot of water. I think this year it's going to be more that 8 to 15, dragging a football head, cranking, whatever you want to do out there on them shell beds. But I definitely think it's going to take 23 to 26 pounds. I've seen it too many times out there. The biggest bag I've caught was in about 15 minutes out there, and it was probably close to 28, 29 pounds.
Okay. Do you think there'll be like a trend with anglers catching their fish, or pretty much anglers can do whatever they want, go inshore, go offshore, up shallow, up deep? You know, it's just going to be a wide variety of what things that anglers will be doing.
It's going to be very diverse. That place has got flip and cover. I mean, it's one of the best frogging lakes around. Shallow water, deep water. I think anglers will be able to spread out, but there's few good areas that it will get crowded, no doubt.
Okay. What about as a co-angler in this event? Let's say you were a co-angler going into this event. Obviously, a lot of that's based on what they're doing with their, what their boater's targeting. But let's say there's a co-angler never been to Lake of the Pines in Texas. Boater doesn't have a whole lot of things going for him. What rods and baits are you taking as a co-angler? Try to get a lot of bites out of Lake of the Pines this time of year.
If I was a co-angler heading out there, as a co-angler, I would never go anywhere without a trick worm on 10, 12-pound test line. That's just a given. But white frog, better have one. Black frog, you better have one. White spinner bait, you better have one. Buzz bait, and then whatever you like to flip around heavy cover. And then as far as the south end, if you could draw somebody down there, you better be having crankbait, a Carolina rig.
Okay. Well, Stephen, really appreciate you coming on to the podcast, giving us a lot of great information about Lake of the Pines. Before we let you go, I was looking at your social media account. It looks like you got a lot of great family and friends that are around the Texas and Louisiana area that supports you and helps you out with your tournament fishing. Anybody you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
My family, wife, kids, they're great. They support me 100%. Mostly my dad and my mom. They make it possible for me, and that's just an unreal feeling. Hopefully next year I'll get to get back out on Lake of the Pines with y'all and get fish again.
Good deal. Well, for all listeners out there, we've been listening to Mr. Stephen Reitzell, a Louisiana-based angler that does a lot of great fishing in the state of Texas. Again, he was a top 10 angler for the BFL Cowboy division on Lake of the Pines last year. So thank you to Stephen for coming on to our podcast. Good luck to all the anglers fishing the BFL Cowboy division tournaments this year. Before we let everybody go, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, you've been seeing the rotating banner below this video. Hit that link at the top of the description right below this video. Enter into that $2,500 sweepstakes giveaway provided to you by Revital Outdoors. Again, that lucky angler will be chosen at the end of the year. From all of us at Revital Outdoors, thank you for tuning into this podcast. Be safe out there. God bless. We'll talk to everyone very, very soon.